Hello, sixth grade. It is Thursday, April the 30th, last day of the month. Tomorrow is May. And we are doing page 18, which is using multiplication to divide by a fraction. And at the top of this, hand wrote, KCF, keep, change, flip. That is the rule that we've been using for dividing fractions, something you learned in fifth grade and we've continued this year. So the way it's set up, I think, is a little confusing. But you have the problem, so I'm looking at number one. You have the problem, which is 1/2 divided by 2/3. If you keep, change, flip, it changes to 1/2 times, then flip that fraction, it's 3/2, and then you multiply them together to get your answer. So even though it's set up kind of weird, it's the same thing we've been doing. So looking at number two. Number two is 4/5 divided by 1/4. So when you keep the 4/5, you change it to multiplication, and you flip that second fraction. So instead of 1/4, it's now 4/1. Oops, okay. Then to get your final answer, to get your final answer, 4 times 4 is 16, and 5 times 1 is 5. So the answer is 16/5. Written like this. So see how all the boxes just look really weird, but it's just keep, change, flip. Okay, let me skip around a little bit. Let's go to a mixed number. Let's do number 6. Number 6, 1 1/3. The first thing you have to do is change that to an improper fraction. Okay, 1 1/3. Let's see, what number did I say? Number 6. So 1 1/3. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. So that's the same thing as 4/3. So I'm going to rewrite 1 1/3 as 4/3. Okay, 4/3. Then if you keep, change, flip, instead of dividing by 3/7, it's going to be multiplied by, flip it, 7/3. Then to get your final answer, 4 times 7 is 28, and 3 times 3 is 9. So your answer is 28/9. Now, I know we're not used to leaving them as improper fractions like that, but this is just a review over the process. Don't worry about changing this to a mixed number in the end. Just leave it as 28/9. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do one where we divide two mixed numbers. I think a good problem is number 10. Number 10 is a good one. Okay, 3 3/5 changed to an improper fraction. That would be 18/5. Where is it? Okay, number 10. Okay, that changes to 18/5. Let's see if I can turn this a little bit. Now here's the part that's a little bit tricky. It's 1 and 3 over something. Not sure what the something is, but if you look over here, after you flip it, it turns into 7/4. 4/7. Oh, I said the answer. So before it flipped, it must have been 7/4. So think about this. Is 1 3/4 the same thing as 7/4? It is. So that's a 4 there. A little tricky there because you're working backwards. Okay, now we're ready to multiply. Okay, that is 18 times 4 is 72. 5 times 7 is 35. So it should be 72/35. Okay. And I'm also going to do number 11. Write a word problem that could be solved by the equation in problem 8. Oh, I forgot we didn't do number 8. Well, let's go back and do number 8. We got plenty of time here. Number 8. 3 1/2 is the same thing as 7/2. They've already changed it to multiplying by 8/7. So before it was flipped, it must have been 7/8. Multiply straight across. 7 times 8 is 56. 2 times 7 is 14. And there's something a little bit unusual about this one. They went ahead and changed this one over to a whole number because 14 goes into 56 exactly 4 times. So now a word problem that matches this. So think about a problem where you're starting with a portion, let's say 3.5 cups. You're divided into portions. You're dividing it into 7/8 of a cup. And you're getting an answer of 4. So I wish it was something other than 7/8, because if you're thinking about measuring recipes, you don't usually have 7/8 in a recipe. But let's see, is there anything else where 7/8 would fall? I can't think of another real world, so let's go ahead and use 7/8. Let's just say we have a recipe. Okay, so I could say I have 3.5 cups of flour left. I'm making cookie recipes. Each recipe calls for 7/8. So my question is, how many batches of cookies can I make if each batch requires 7/8 a cup of flour? So 3.5 divided to 7/8 tells me it would make 4 recipes. So that's one possible word problem you could write at the bottom down here, or you can come up with something else. In fact, be creative, see if you can come up with something much better than that. All right, have a great day, guys. Enjoy dividing your fractions.